myself, Taryn, and Hayley here, we're just going to take you through the Accuniq scan and what to prepare yourself for on scan day as well. Just letting you know that we're not doctors, we're not medical professions, so these scans are just to help you guys set that baseline and where we can show you where those improvements and things can be.
Awesome. All right, so to go through scan results with you, I'm going to talk through like I'm talking Taryn through her results, and hopefully you can reflect on your own results there, and we can help you with setting some goals too. So first up, we work with the body composition analysis section that you'll find at the top left-hand corner of your scan. So the first reading there is your body water. So this number indicates your the litres of water in your body, inside your body cells. So a well-hydrated body will metabolize at its best. So we want that number to be high, ideally in the range that's shown in the little numbers below, the higher end of that. If it is slightly over, it can indicate high muscle mass, which is a good thing. It may indicate fluid retention. Don't be alarmed by that. If you have continuous readings that are over, then we can help you out with correcting that from there. Next up below that is your proteins. When a protein reading is high, it indicates high muscle mass in your body. So we want that number to be nice and high as well. It also indicates that you have free protein for building muscle. Below that is your bone minerals. So again, we want that to be in that range shown below at the higher end. That just indicates that you've got healthy bone minerals. Again, if that reading is low, this isn't a medical calculator, don't be alarmed by that. We'll just keep checking in on future scans as well. Awesome, so to move below that section, we go to the muscle and fat analysis section. This here shows our weight up top. From our point of view, working in a gym setting, we are not too caught up on weight itself. Rather, we want to look at what the weight's made up of. So below that, you'll see the skeletal muscle mass. So this is how much of your weight is muscle, and below that is your fat mass. That's how much of your weight is fat. So, sorry, putting emphasis on that. So with these, basically we want your muscle to be as high as possible and fat to be lower. The more muscle you have, the more fat you're going to be burning at rest. Hence why we worry more about this muscle and fat as opposed to weight. If we move below that to the obesity analysis section, you'll see two values here. There's the BMI, which is your body mass index. This is simply the value of kilos over height, so your weight over your height. It is slightly outdated, so if you're showing that your BMI is over, it may indicate you have high muscle mass. So rather than looking at the BMI, we're going to look at the body fat percentage below. So this is the percentage of fat you have in your body. On our scale here, we want men to be ideally between 15 and 25%, and females to be between 20 and 30%. You might find that if you've done skin folds in the past, that the body fat shown here is slightly higher. The reason for that being is because it includes your visceral fat as well. Now we can see your visceral fat reading if you go down a little bit further to where it says VFL. This gives you a score for your visceral fat from 0 to 20. Ideally, we want the visceral fat to be lower than 10 on our scale. If it is slightly higher, that's not a big concern. We can bring that number down through good nutrition and training. Awesome. So then if we move across to the right-hand side, up the top, you'll see where it says BMR, or basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories that your body needs in a day just to exist. If you did nothing in your day, you just lay in bed all day, that's the amount of calories your body needs just to be your body. So ideally we want to be eating at least this amount of calories to ensure that your body's not going into shock mode as well. Underneath that is your total daily energy expenditure. So with that value, that's how much we predict you burn in a day with daily activities. So that's a little bit of exercise, going to work, just doing your everyday tasks. If your goal is to lose weight, ideally we want to stay underneath this number, and if it's to gain weight, you'll be eating more than this number. To maintain muscle, we usually recommend eating about 300 to a max 500 calories below that number. Do bear in mind that it's not as linear as just eating calories. Hormones play part, stress levels, so you might find that you're eating underneath and still not getting those results, or also sleep as well. Mm-hmm. So if you aren't getting those results, then maybe seek some further information. Awesome. So if we go below that, you'll see the next important thing we look at is our abdominal circumference. So this is just the measurement around your waist area, around your midsection. We want to keep this number lower, ideally for females lower than 88 centimeters on our scan and lower than 100 centimeters on for a male. Do bear in mind that this it may not be quite as accurate as if you measure with a tape measure yourself. So just keep that in mind. It's an estimate here as well. Below that you'll see it says body balance assessment. So this is just the difference between your left and right side. So you'll see upper body level is shown there and then lower body. So if it says balance, it means that you've got a balance between the left and right. If there is a slight imbalance, again, nothing to be alarmed about, just something to be wary of in your training. Below that you'll see it says control guide. So this is something we don't want you to focus on so much. Where it says target weight, it's based around the BMI, which I talked about earlier, which is a little bit outdated. So when you're setting goals for your weight, go based off what you know of yourself, what's achievable in the time frame you're working with, and not this guide here. You will see it indicates though whether you need to lose fat or gain fat or lose muscle, gain muscle. Do use that as a guideline for setting goals too. And then just a couple more things to go through. Below that you'll see the segmental lean mass, which is just the amount of lean mass you have in each segment of your body. You can also flick back with your eyes to the left side where you'll see it says segmental lean and fat mass analysis. So you'll see a little diagram here. So there's a really muscly person and a really fat person. That's not you. I have so many people say, is that me? No, that's just a set picture there. So that will just show where your muscle is and where your fat is and how it's distributed through the body. It won't mean much to you if you're doing your first scan, but when you do a second scan, you'll be able to compare whether you've lost fat or gained muscle in certain places. And then to wrap it up, below that at the bottom, it will just show your weight, your muscle mass, and your body fat percentage, which we've already spoken through, but this will show you how it changes as you do multiple scans.
Cool.
How does that sound, Taryn? Do you have any questions about your scan?
I do have one question. At the top on the right hand side it says body type. What does that mean?
So these are the two, body type and below that biological age are the things that we probably get asked about the most, but is probably the least important thing to look at. So body type, it will tell you what body type you have just based on BMI again, which we've talked about being slightly outdated. Same with the biological age. So it may tell you that you're older or you're younger than you actually are. This is not what we need to focus on here. We're going to focus instead on the body fat percentage and your waist to hip ratio, which we actually haven't discussed. Back on the left hand side is a more accurate health measure than looking at your body type. It's written down there under WHR. Ideally for females we want this value to be under 0.85 and for males under 0.9. So this is just the difference between your waist and your hips. And that just means that if that number's low, you're not holding your fat around your vital organs, and you should be healthier. Do bear in mind genetics play part in that. You might just carry your weight up higher and that's not so much an issue either.
So guys, that's us for today. We've taken you through the scan and how to measure look at your results, but this is just a tool to help you track those results and to make some goals for your future. Just remember though, if you do have any questions, we're here to help 100%, so just let out. Thank you.